Here's our super high-tech rain gauge. It's just a dog bowl. We dump it out, leave it there, and we see how much rain we get. Because we've been getting so much rain, I've been dumping out every day. We've literally been filling that full every single day. But good morning. Welcome back, everybody, to the Eldredge family. It is 9 o'clock on Saturday, and we have sitting here a new lawnmower. I am excited about it, happy about it. It does have a flat tire, which he did not disclose. Looking at those tires, honestly, I would not be surprised if they're original. They are just like, they look super old. So adding that to the list of things I got to do with it. We got home last night about 1:30. It was quite the eventful night. We were up with the kids off and on all night long. It was definitely not ideal. But we did get the kids to kind of sleep in a little bit till like 7 today. So that was better. But to start off today, we are going to go ahead and pump up the tires. And I'm going to go ahead and try and mow our yard really quick before we take this lawnmower apart. As you can see, it leaks oil. I do have a new gasket for this. This is the valve cover gasket. But it leaks oil. The exhaust is literally got one screw holding it in. It just needs to be gone through and updated, taken care of, new tires, new valve covers, washed, etc., etc. So that's what we're going to do. But before we get into it, he says it'll mow like as it is. He's been using it as it is. So we're going to go ahead and do that and give it one last quick mow right now. And then we're going to hopefully take it to the car wash and get it cleaned up and then start taking it apart. See what we're getting into. That thing's leaking oil like crazy. Okay, so did you see that? The whole engine, boom, 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 boom. When I shut it off, he said that sometimes the bolts get loose on the engine mount, and that is what that is. So honestly, at this point, I'm thinking I am going to just mow this really quick, get it done. The engine, it's got oil. Like, it's not, the engine runs great. It's leaking oil, so we keep an eye on that. And it's loose on the deck, so we got to fix that. But we're going to go ahead and mow with it. And then once we're done mowing, we're going to go into town. We're going to get a whole bunch of parts for it, strip it down, pressure wash it in town, and get it working into tip-top condition. Alright, we learned a couple of things. That tire goes flat after about 1.5 passes. So that tire is completely shot. They're both shot. But that one doesn't even work good enough for us to use. So loaded back it up. I loaded it back up on the trailer. I'm going to go get some tools and take off this back cover so that I can kind of get into the engine area and pressure wash it. What are we leaking right here? We'll figure it out. That's oil. Straight oil. I think this thing has a major oil leak, not a slight oil leak. All right. Time for the work part of this purchase. Dang it. Those have nuts on the back of them. All right, that was most definitely worth doing. The thing looks like $1 million now. Hi, Harv. So, yeah, I am glad that I just took the time and everything to do that. Harvey, you having a good day? Where are we? Atwoods. So we're gonna go see if they have some of the parts. Now, this needs more parts and maintenance stuff than I thought it was going to. So what's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to get it home. I've got a neighbor. Here, hold my hand. No, you hold my hand. I've got a neighbor that called me last night and says he needs help. The clutch on his tractor went out. He's an older gentleman. He's like, I just can't do it. I'm too old to do this. Can you come over and help me? So we're going to go over there and take a look at that right now after we finish here at Atwoods. And then we will go see if I can just start taking this thing apart, figure out what parts I need, and then probably order a bunch off of Amazon. They have popcorn. What do you say? Well, we definitely struck out, so that was kind of a bummer, but that's all right. I kind of figured I'd have to order stuff online. Let's go, Bubby. We gotta go see a man about a tractor. All right, so we just stopped off and looked at the tractor. He doesn't really have any great tools for it, so we're gonna go home and get a bunch of my tools, and hopefully we'll find something that'll work, and we'll be able to kind of get the tractor split in half. Now, to replace the transmission or the clutch in these tractors, you actually split the tractor in half. I'm gonna ask him if we can film it, and I'll show you guys because it's kind of interesting. But it's a pretty big undertaking to split the tractor in half to replace the clutch. So that's what we're trying to do right now. We're kind of racing the weather. We don't have great weather today. This afternoon it's going to rain a lot again, and so we're trying to get it taken care of, and so he can get the parts ordered. Obviously we're not going to get it finished today, but we want to get it split today. Okay, so what we're doing is we're trying to split the tractor in half right here. So this front is the engine and this back is the transmission, and the clutch is somewhere right in here. So the problem we got is there is a nut right back there that's pretty difficult to get to, and then the rest of these are pretty much right in the open. So we disconnect hydraulic hoses, fuel line, anything else on that side, throttle cables, you know, some electrical, I guess.
That one's still hooked up. Oh, I got all those loose.
Okay. So yeah, we've got, did you pull those out already?
Pull those
okay.
out.
So we pulled out a couple of them already. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get that. What did we say? Is that one 9/6?
It's a 5/8.
5/8 again. Okay. So I've got this ratchet that may work for this. That definitely does not look like 5/8. That is a 5/8. Okay. Oh, come on. It is right there.
I've got a 1/4 inch ratchet.
Probably, yeah.
No, I've got it.
This is one of those bolts that you have to get to. You have to modify your tools to get to it, you know?
Yep. If we had these two bolts right there holds that whole thing, we could take them loose and lift that whole thing up. Wouldn't have to lift it up much.
One on each side, is that?
Yeah, there's one here and one right there. Isn't that all that's holding that steering column?
You've already taken the other two off.
Yeah, I took these two off because that's got to.
Okay, let's do that.
I don't see anything else holding it. Oh, I just bought this tractor about 3 years ago.
Okay.
I had a 255, which was basically the same tractor, and everything on it was wore out. It was wore out. It was one of them deals that I knew it was wore out when I bought it, but I was in a bind.
Had to get something.
And they had an auction up at Sulphur, and I didn't give a lot for it.
Uh-huh.
And it got me through.
Oh, that'll work. You might not even have to take that all the way out. I mean, I guess you got it.
Oh, okay, I done got it.
It should just slide.
Back. Okay, yeah.
And then we may need to disconnect some of these other wires. I don't know exactly. That one that's going in the top, I don't know what that.
They've got a little slack in them.
Okay, possibly enough.
Just have to, yeah. Get out here.
So what we're doing is we're marking out all of our bolts and the bolt pattern because everything is probably a different length. So we're going to go ahead and basically we're going to create a map. Okay, so top, and then check that out. There's our map. You start at the top and you work yourself all the way around from this side counterclockwise. But this is like the best hack when you have to take out stuff. And honestly, a lot of these actually do look the same length. They could all be the same length, but you never know. So this is a good way to do it. All right. As you can see, it's actually split down there. So we're ready to, I guess, actually try pulling them apart.
Yeah, let me jack this. Put some pressure on this, Bill. It's got pressure.
I think yeah.
Let me go up just a little bit more, because that looks like where the crack is.
Yeah, and we could probably go up on this one or two.
Yeah, I didn't have it. Okay, that crack's pretty
pretty even.
Right there.
Oh, I can see the, yeah.
Got dowel pins.
Yep, okay.
To line them up.
All right, you clear that just in case something weird happens?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, you want to get on that other tire?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay. Oh, go down on that?
Go down on this
yeah.
one?
Or I can go down on mine.
Probably need to go.
It looks like it needs
okay,
to go down
yeah.
just a
well,
hair.
Man, looking at this dowel pin, it looks like it's just perfect on this side.
Okay. My gap at the bottom's a little bit bigger. Oh, it's probably all right. Let's just keep.
I don't think the
Is the fuel tank?
It don't have any weight on it.
I think I'm bound up.
Maybe that tank's I've got that loosened, but maybe that's I've got straps. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we're making progress. Let's we'll just keep going. I think we're almost there. Let me. Okay. That opened it up on my side quite a bit.
I started to say it's moved over this way too.
Okay. Is that jack good?
Yeah, it's solid.
Oh,
there it went. Something went. I think that the front jack needs to come up a little more because it
Okay.
it dropped down.
Do I need to move the jack back, you think, or leave it where it's at?
Well, I think it needs to go back just a little bit.
Towards the back of the tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I moved it half an inch. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Let's go up on that jack again. A little bit more. Good. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Jack,
I was gonna say it's free and clear now. I don't.
You pull on the jack and let me wiggle it just a little bit.
Oh, hold on, we're too high now. Or maybe it's
I think okay, yeah, we're out of
Woo!
None of them wires are tied up there, are they?
They're close.
That one's got plenty of
That's got a
slack in
disconnect
it.
on it right here, though. We might be able to. Let's just disconnect that. Okay, that's out. And whatever this is this. Okay. We're gonna have to disconnect.
That one's got to come off.
Yeah. And it is.
It may be the.
I don't even know.
Okay, it may be easier to take it off. Let's pull that guard.
Oh, what the heck? Was that all right? So.
It's a ½ inch. Here you go.
Oh no.
It's probably got a nut on the inside.
Snapped off or something. Oh, never mind. Just slid back in there. Ready? Yeah.
You ready?
Yep. I think it's. Feels like it. Oh, it's catched on these hydraulic lines.
Oh. Those may be nut. Oh, they got a nut on the back. I pushed it back.
Okay, that's about, well, I can take off. Let's just take this off.
Yeah, we can go.
All right, y'all can see we got this thing taken apart. We had to disconnect the tachometer, the fuel tank, hydraulic lines, hydraulic hoses, and a couple of the other things we already showed you. But if you come look on this side of the tractor, this problem is the pressure plate is not supposed to have a break there or there. So that's got to get replaced. And he was talking about the different bearings. This bearing's got to get replaced. There's a couple other, there's another bearing in here, I guess it has to get replaced, right? Another bearing is there another bearing inside of here somewhere?
It's showing 2 bearings plus the pressure plate plus the clutch comes in a kit.
Okay, so it's kind of a whole kit, and we're going to end up rebuilding the whole thing. But what we had to do is figure out the number of teeth on the spline, because there's 2 different versions. And so now that we know that, we can get everything ordered, and then we'll put it back together when all the parts get here. I have Paxton and Maverick last night on our way home after we finished last night's video. Harvey ended up throwing up, and then he threw up an hour after we got home. So the poor little boy has a fever, pretty sick. We're trying to keep the other 2 away from him. So Crandall has Harvey, and I have Paxton and Maverick. We went to the gym this morning. We're kind of like an hour and a half later than we normally are because of the fact that we woke up so late this morning because we didn't get in until 1:30. And so we went to the gym, did some take-backs. And we promised Mavi a movie night yesterday, and we didn't get to have it. So today we're having a movie night, and we're going to fill up our tub of popcorn. All right, boys? And then we're going... Yeah, you want your popcorn, huh? Oh, your tub of popcorn? Don't eat popcorn? Oh, don't eat popcorn. Okay. And then we're going to go to Target in a little bit because I have to get some diapers. Boys, what did we get? Popcorn. We got the popcorn. It's nice because it comes with a lid. So now it just goes on the floor so we don't eat it all in the car. You want more? I thought you said no popcorn. So after getting this thing completely cleaned at the car wash, it looks almost brand new. I mean, it looks a whole lot better, but we can really see where our leaks are coming from, which is right here, which we knew. I'm just trying to keep an eye on, is it leaking over here as well? I do have valve covers for both sides, so I think I will replace both valve covers, but we're going to go ahead and jack this thing up, put it on some blocks. I've got to do a lot of work to it. After looking at it, and as we dig into it, we're going to find more things, but back tires, valve covers, every nut and bolt on this needs to be gone through and tightened. I got Loctite to Loctite everything. Fuel system seems good. Exhaust needs to be redone. The list kind of just goes on and on. So we're just going to start. I wanted to get this in here and get started right now because I know I'm going to have to order parts. Went to town to go buy parts. They didn't really have what I needed. So we're going to have to order a bunch of stuff and get it shipped in. Go ahead and take off this tire. Take out the tire and see what we got. I'm going to go ahead and just take off both side covers. It'll make it a little bit easier to just run through and do everything. Having one less thing to get in the way. There are bolts loose all over this thing. The storms are rolling in. We're going to get pounded in the next hour or two. So I'm finding, like he said, there's a whole bunch of bolts that are loose on this thing. That is definitely the case. The engine mount is loose. We're missing a screw here. The engine mount is loose. The plate screws are loose. These mounting screws for the hydraulic motor are loose. What else have I found? That's tight. This stuff up here is loose. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Here it comes. Dang. We'll see how much this little storm cycle gives. There's Marsh. She's gonna go to the grocery store. So right now I'm taking off the deck. We're gonna do some adjustments on it and replace the blades. And it also gives me better access to get under the tractor. Looks like it's cracked around here, so we'll re-weld that. That's what I needed to know, what gasket that is. So I've got to buy new gaskets and new bolts to install onto the exhaust. So immediately I figured out why this thing was leaking. This screw was not tight at all. But I do have a new gasket. We're going to take this off. We're going to actually check the clearance on the valves. Those other screws were extremely tight. But I think what happened with my other mower over there... Oh, wow, look at those ducks. Is it threw a rod, one of the... not through a rod, one of the valves, I think it dropped a valve. So we're going to check the valve clearances on this to make sure that the valve clearances are right. It's a pretty easy thing to do. And we just want to make sure that we do it because that will help the longevity of this engine. Whew, that's a lot of oil. There's no gasket on there. No gasket. Or no gasket left. What the heck? Alright, well, I'm going to have to do some research here and see what our clearances are supposed to be for the valves. Basically, that seems that's way too loose. It's supposed to be like that. So that's an issue. I don't know if that's intake or exhaust. This is probably intake. Exhaust, and then it goes out the bottom. So we do need to turn over the engine. This, I think, was in top center with both of these being loose. But we're going to run it through and just check to make sure. And then we're also going to do the other side. Look at how long this thing has been leaking. It has built up absolute pile of gunk in here. I went to go and try and remove that spark plug, and I couldn't because it was so full of crap. So I decided to dig a little deeper, and I'm glad I did. We got our new gasket here. I think it's the right size. I got this all cleaned as well as I can. So I also cleaned the actual valve cover up, which it looks really, really good. Not the outside, but the inside. I'm not going to do the other side. It is not leaking as far as I know. If it does start leaking, we'll fix it. But I don't want to fix it if it ain't broke. I've ordered new air filter, new spark plugs, new coil, new blades, new tires. I'm going to have to go either steal hardware off of the old lawnmower, which I'm totally okay to do, or buy some more hardware. What else? I think that's probably about the list. Wow. Well, I got the top of the engine put back together, but like I was saying, it shakes when you shut it off and it goes kuh. And I think I figured out why. Here is the engine mount bolt. Don't know if y'all can see that, but it is literally halfway gone. So obviously it is wiggling in the mount, and I was worried that the frame was going to have an ogged out hole, but the bolt having an ogged out hole is a way better problem. So my guess is there probably is some movement on the deck itself, like the hole. I don't think it was just the bolt going like this. I'm guessing there's probably, the hole is not a perfect circle anymore, which is kind of a bummer. I'd have to pull out the entire engine, which means I'd have to take off the hydrostatic transmission and take off the engine, weld the hole, drill the hole, put a plate over it, something like that. So I'm going to try just replacing these bolts. And if that works, then great. If not, I'll come up with something else. But I think this will probably be definitely a good starting point, and it may just solve our entire issue. So both of the front bolts were like that. This one's been replaced, so it's not as bad, but it's pretty darn bad. So we'll get a couple more of those. I was able to harvest some screws and bolts off of the old lawnmower. I put 2 in the seat. The 2 screws right there are used from the other lawnmower. This one's used from the other lawnmower, and then a couple of other little ones as well. So I think with that other lawnmower, I'm going to strip it down. I'm going to take all the hardware off of it, put it in a bucket, and I'll use that hardware for whatever I want, whenever I need extra screws or whatever for this project or other projects. Harvesting screws is an awesome thing to do. So we've got the cover to put back on here. Fuel pump is back on. I may have bought a new fuel pump. Don't know if I'll need it. Don't know if I'll put it on. But it's time to push go on the order. And I think I have everything that I need. It'll take about a week to get here. And we'll have this thing put back together. And this should be like tip-top condition. Now, it doesn't look super, super pretty, but it is not very bad either. There's hardly any rust on it. Mostly just dirty from grease and grime from that thing leaking. That thing probably leaked for who knows how long, a long time. So exhaust back on, tires back on, all that kind of stuff. I'll get the parts ordered. But thank you guys for watching today's video. It was a project day. Glad I was able to go out, help my neighbor out, and then come here and get some of this work done. That tractor, something I've never done before. This, something I've never done before. If there's a project or something going on in your life that you're not sure if you can do because you've never done it before, just go start. That is literally what we did today. We just started, kept working in a process, and eventually figured out how to take that tractor apart, how to fix this lawnmower, and we figured out what our problems were. We're able to order the parts and get them back together. So don't be afraid to go and try. And you may mess up. Guess what? You just learned how not to do it. Go try again and figure out how to do it. That's the motto I live by. So thank you guys for watching today's video, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.